We will handle it. Senator Natasha has never discussed with the rest of us senators, and I speak on behalf of the three of us. We are older than Senator Natasha. We're wiser. We've seen a lot of things. So, and we've taken her, I have taken her as my child. There's no reason for me not to support her. Even over the change of local content, I was going to take it up with the Senate President. She told me she preferred where she was, and then I dropped it. Before that, I was the first person to take Senator Akpabio on.
My people, just when we thought that Senator Natasha have said everything that needs to be said, more female senators are coming out to say more. Wahala. Hey, in this scandal, so many truths will be revealed. Just put your ear for ground. You go hear so many things. That so many of these top officials that you are respecting, so many of them are not worth it. You need to listen to what this woman, she said that she is supporting Senator Natasha full time. That a lot has been going on that people do not know. She exposed a lot. In fact, watch this video.
Get straight into it. I'd like to start at the very top with the mention of your name in that interview, where it was alleged that you called Senator Akpoti's husband on 2 occasions. The first was to report that truly she was experiencing a form of harassment from the Senate President, and then the second was to give a form of instruction to tell her to withdraw the lawsuit that she has made. Can you give us your perspective, your side of the story, of your interaction between yourself and Senator AKPOTI and her husband?
Before I answer that question, I would like to start with certain premises. One, I'm just here on behalf of myself and the other 2 women in the Senate. 2, I'm also here as the Senate chairperson for Women Affairs. The other premise is that since there are only 4 women, we've all 4 of us been particularly close. Senator Natasha and I have been also even closer because I take her as my daughter, as I'm old enough to be her mother. And I guide her since, in truth, the Senate is predicated on ranking. And we were there a whole 6 months before her. So I'm able to tell her how things are done. Look at this, go here, check that out. So that, and then the day in question, I was not in the Senate. I was in NMPC hospital. When I came out of the hospital, my driver said to me, "Madam, there's wahala in the Senate." I said, "What about?" He didn't tell me, he just said Senator Natasha. As soon as I heard her name, as I always do with everything that concerns her, I promptly called her. I said, "Natasha, what's going on?" He said, he started to try to explain about seating. She had not given me the proper explanation. I had not been given the opportunity to respond when she said to me, "I'll call you back, I'll call you back." Till today, Senator Natasha has not called me back. I have a smartphone. Before I called Senator Natasha's husband, I had called Senator Natasha twice without response. Then I called him to say, "I've called her twice, she's not answering me." He said, "Oh, she went to Singapore. Maybe that's why." And then I said to him, "This is not the way this should be handled." Now, let's go on to other things. The reason we've heard it said everywhere that the 3 women in the Senate have been silent. Yes, because silence is golden, especially when one of us is not following the rules. And as women, we did not want to come out publicly to say anything negative about her. And we were hoping all of this will blow over, as a lot of things do. Now, the truth of the matter is, yes, the Senate is not gender friendly, but it has been improving, much better than when we first entered the Senate, I must say. And the truth of the matter is, when we make a fuss and we draw the attention of the Senate President, he does correct it. Truly, the Senate can do better than it's doing, but there's hardly anything that's been done to us that's not done to other men. It is more appropriate to say that the Senate is not opposition friendly. Now, the Senate leadership may not be gender friendly, but I must say the majority of the senators, they are very kind and they are conciliatory to us. They look out for the fact that women, some of them have been there before. They guide us on, do it like this, do it that way. And slowly, even I can say without anybody repudiating that fact, that I am the singular senator that fights the Senate president the most. But I have learned to do it. If it arises on plenary, I deal with it there, especially when it's on issues to do with my constituency. When it's on other issues of privileges, I go and meet him when all the senators are in the dining room, and I fight with him there and get the support of other senators. Senate is a place where the majority takes the day. So then also I want to say something. Us women in the Senate, in fact, to be honest, Senator Natasha has gotten the most privilege of all the four of us. The seat I'm sitting in now have been moved 4 times. Senator Ipalibo Banigo has been moved at least twice.
All right. Senator Ireti.
No, please let me finish. I brought myself here. Then you can ask
yes,
me.
Yes, but we also have a few minutes with you. So can you just make it brief, because we do have follow-up questions.
It's all right.
All right.
I will make it brief. I wanted to say that this is about the rules of the Senate. So if I can point out that other women have been moved several times. On that day I wasn't there, but I gather that several men were also moved. And I'm only here as chairperson of Women Affairs. I want women to know we have to follow the rules of the institution we choose to enter. And that is mostly the point of this visit here. Whether there's, sexual harassment between them, they already had personal relationships before they came to the Senate.
All right.
The 3 of us had no relationship with Senator Akpabio before we came.
All right, Senator.
So I'm ready for your questions now.
Yes.
And the question you asked me, I don't have enough of a relationship with Senator Akpabio to discuss sexual harassment with Senator Akpabio. When I go to the Senate and my neighbors or Senator Natasha is not there, I collect documents on their behalf. I collected some from Senator Natasha, informed her. She said she was home. I went to her house. I'm answering the question. I got there. She told me, after offering a meal, that she's supposed to discuss something with him, and he said to meet her in some hotel. I said to her, you only meet
Senator Ireti, I'm sorry, I have to come in at this point. We have limited time with you. Pardon me, I have tried.
You asked me a question.
My colleague asked you a question.
So if you just want a yes or no, I'll tell you no. I did not. I was trying to tell you what transpired. And as we were discussing, her husband came in. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So that I could not have said so. I don't know.
All right, that's noted.
That's all I'm asking. You asked me a question, madam.
My colleague asked you the question. Thank you for getting to it eventually. Now,
I cannot see any of you, so pardon me.
It's okay. We're fine. We're just having a conversation here. You've made it clear the parts that you're aware of and what you're also unaware of. But some statements that you made, you did say that the Senate is not gender friendly, but it's been improving, and what is done to women is also done to men. That doesn't sound like it makes this experience okay. It also sounds a bit, to an extent, like you're minimizing Senator Natasha's experience, since you're saying that what she might have experienced is not something exclusive, but it's something that other people also experience. Now I'm just wondering, as Nigerians, we most likely did not sign up for the senators to indulge in what is happening or engage in what's happening at the moment. I'm wondering how this public discourse, or discord I should say, impacts the citizens' confidence in the Senate. Also, as a citizen of Nigeria, I would like to know your answer to that question.
It impacts it very negatively, and that's the only reason I have been sick. From here, I'm going to the hospital. It's the only reason I came. The Senate is not a place where we are supposed to be fighting over trivialities like seating arrangements. It's a place where we're supposed to fight about issues that affect the people. And that's why this whole thing is a non-issue. If we were fighting, the truth, when I say it's not gender friendly, we expected, because there were only 4 of us, that we'll get privileges. But we don't get them. We fought to get there, and the fight continues until we can get more women in the Senate. So if we don't get privileges, we don't get them. But it does not mean that we don't get our rights. The 3 of us have not been sexually harassed. That's not to say if Senator Natasha can prove that she has been, that is fine. We will support her. But she's never discussed it with us. We don't know about it. She did not respond to the rest of the female senators. She has not spoken to any of us throughout this whole episode. From change of seat to now. Senator Banigo was with her, tried to talk to her that it can be resolved. She did not listen to her. So I'm coming to say that women of Nigeria have larger things in front of them. We are trying to pass special bills, 35% inclusion. We cannot be fighting over where we sit. And it really denigrates the institution in a manner that's not beneficial to Nigeria, the people, or the women. That's all I'm here to say.
All right. Well, some people would have said that Rosa Parks shouldn't have fought for her seat in what became a historic movement for the empowerment of not just black people, but women as well. So sometimes it begins with a fight over a seat. Now, don't you think that this whole debacle has now opened us up to bigger conversations? Number one, around the possibility that there may be some sort of harassment, sexual advancement happening behind the scenes. As we are well aware, it happens in several institutions around Nigeria. Are you dismissing that it is absolutely impossible that anything of this nature could be taking place?
No, I'm not saying it's impossible. No, it's not impossible. Remember, the issue was seat assignment. If we've been in the Senate a year and a half, I doubt that it was the day that this happened. Senator Natasha, I go to the other senators, female senators, with an issue, and they tell me, okay, you leave it. You're more confrontational than us. We will handle it. Senator Natasha has never discussed with the rest of us senators, and I speak on behalf of the three of us. We are older than Senator Natasha. We're wiser. We've seen a lot of things. So, and we've taken her, I have taken her as my child. There's no reason for me not to support her. Even over the change of local content, I was going to take it up with the Senate President. She told me she preferred where she was, and then I dropped it. Before that, I was the first person to take Senator Akpabio on about the market. He didn't even realize he had offended us until I tabled it. So the impression that she's all alone, it's not right and it's not correct.
All right, Senator.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I just say I don't know about it.
All right, Senator Ireti King, we appreciate your time and insight, and we hope that all the issues that you've highlighted are some of you end up challenging them while you're a senator to make it a better platform. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, what I have to say in this issue is that the fact that you've not experienced something does not mean that people that are experiencing it and spoke out that they are lying. No, it does not mean that. Okay, maybe Senator Natasha made a mistake by not meeting Senator Ireti and explaining to her what she has been passing through or what Akpabio said to her initially. She even said that she did not tell her husband because she was trying to cover things up and trying to make peace so that it will not happen again. You know, she didn't want to expose Akpabio at the initial stage until everything escalated. And she's saying that, Senator Ireti is saying that we are not in the Senate to discuss seat arrangement. Does she even understand where Senator Natasha is coming from? Because not from all these small things, from arranging, because according to her, nobody else, she's only the one that was asked to change seat that day. That was what she said. So she was asking why her. Now she is the one that having this experience. So she is in a better position to say the small things that she's noticing that maybe Akpabio is throwing at her that couldn't have been if it were other Senate women. You see, so all this dismissing of, I think her Senator Ireti's anger is that she did not meet her first to explain to all this, and when she tried to reach out to know what the problem is, Senator Natasha didn't give her any hearing or say anything to her. So she's like acting like a one man's word or something, which it is not supposed to. But all the same, we all have the same different ways of reacting to things. How you react to things. By the way, she said that she's younger than her. She's smarter. The fact that you are younger than her, that you're older than her, does not mean that you are smarter or that she's a little child. For her to be in that Senate means that she was seen as appropriate person, as that is supposed to be there. So there's this mother-daughter. This thing is not even supposed to come in place. Everybody should look at this issue critically. Forget all bias, forget all sentiment, and resolve this issue, because I know that for you to have aggravated to it, she must have been feeling something very, very not normal for her to be able to speak out. So I hope this thing is settled so that our Senate president, our senators will come back and start talking about matters that concern the people and not really this, because this is not what Nigeria have them for. So guys, thank you so much. Please share your opinion in the comment section. What do you feel about this, Natasha, and what Senator Ireti just said? And we have not heard anything from the Senate president yet. Hopefully he will come up and explain his whole part, and everybody will know where each and everyone stands. So guys, subscribe to our channel.